मामुद्धर भवार्णवात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्त देवताभ्यो नमः, ऋषिभ्यो नमः, मुनिभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः, ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः, आचार्येभ्यो नमः, भक्तेभ्यो नमः, साधुभ्यो नमः, साधकेभ्यो नमः, तीर्थेभ्यो नमः, क्षेत्रेभ्यो नमः, नदी नदेभ्यो नमः, शास्त्रेभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम एकादश स्कंधः मुक्तिर्हित्वा रूपम स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः। श्री उद्धव उवाच। Bhagavad Guru Kripa that we are every day touching our Shastras. Through the Shastra, we are touching the Lord also. We are touching our final goal, we are reminded of. We are also just equipping ourselves for the sadhana to be done. Although it is not one day clear, and it can be clear very soon also if we work hard that way. After Shravanam, when we do the homework of Mananam Chintanam, the conviction about goal and the sadhana to be done for that will be very clear. And such is a genius of a very serious, sincere, committed sadhaka. Even to become that, somewhere we have to begin. And there we have begun to be regular in our Shravana. If this Shravana also is not done regularly, then we would be only doing Shravana of Abhadram, Amangalam of the worldliness, and we will go deeper and deeper only into the samsara. Somehow, the Krupa Karuna of the Guru Parampara, the Acharya Parampara, are giving us this rope of the Shastra, holding which we can slowly, from that flowing away into samsara, we can come to the shores. Strongly we have to hold, continuously we have to hold till we come to the safe zone of convincingly being on the path. And being on the path towards the goal is a very clear subjective experience when we reach. So we have to reach to that level where we experientially say that to me the goal is Paramatma and I am on the path of that, clearing my antakarana through Karma Yoga, purifying my vasanas through Ashtanga Yoga, single pointed I am becoming through Bhakti Yoga, and through Jnana Marga I am understanding Tattva, truth, self, reality very thoroughly. And I am also spending time in my dhyana ityadi, where practically I am rising above all the upadhis to establish in self. All these should be experientially felt in each one of us. To that level, we have to keep on using the Shastras, taking the help of them. Mm. We are into this 22nd chapter of 11th Mukti Skandha. Here, Uddhavaji asks Bhagavan about how many are the tattvas which make this world. And each one is saying different number of tattvas, which is right. Bhagavan said, beyond Maya, if you see, it is only Paramatma. Therefore, every count of number of tattvas going into making of the world, all of them are wrong only. But when you and I see the Jagat, then we are asked to explain it, or we asked to explain from where these tattvas are made, from where this Jagat is made, what are the material. Then each of the Rishi Muni be attentive. Under the influence of the Maya only, taking the help of Maya only, using his own discretion, ability, tries to put the Mula Karana Tattvas of this Jagat. Somebody has this number, second has this number, third Rishi has this number. And we accept all of them because we are intelligent enough to see how they are talking that number, how these rishis are talking this number. We accept all of them true because we accept their standpoint. From which standpoint they are saying. Therefore, for us, there is no quarrel because we see from what standpoint they are saying and we also see beyond. Beyond what is there is only one Paramatma. In him there is no Jagat at all. Then where is the question of with what tattvas the Jagat is made? From the beyond standpoint, if anybody asks us with what tattva Jagat is made, we say only one tattva, that is Bhagavat Tattva. He alone is there permeating whatever the Rupa Nama you see and say as real. We also see like you, but we don't see say as real. For us also, the water, mirage water appears, but we know there's nothing like that. It's only silicon there. So do we also feel like you see and say it is silver, but we know there is no silver. What is there is only the shell. So in this way, कितने तत्व से जगत बना? The ultimate answer is एक ही तत्व. What is that? ब्रह्म तत्वम. सर्वम ही एतद् ब्रह्म. ओमित्येतद् अक्षरगम इदगम. तस्य उपव्याख्यानं भूतं भवद् भविष्यति सर्वमोंकार एव यच्च अन्यत्रिकालातीतं तदप्योंकार एव सर्वं हि एतद् ब्रह्म. ईशावास्यम् इदगम सर्वम्. यत्र तु सर्वम् आत्मा एव अभूत्. See, these are the Upanishad quotations. From that Upanishad standpoint, sarvam ekatattvam eva. Nasti kinchana ekameva advayam eva. But then, okay, even Vyavahara level, you see the Srushti for the sadhana. So you ask question. To entertain you because you are happy when some information, some accounting, some reasoning, some cause effect is given, your intellect gets satisfied. So for the satisfaction of the intellect of the seeker, all the rishis, each of the rishis spoke about these are the number of tattvas, etc. Now, you and I also will study this, and we also, at one stage of our inquiry, we can see these tattvas, and they are required to be seen. Why? That will help us in one type of sadhana where the karya tattvas we can merge in karana tattva. Then the Karana later on we merge in the Sakshi Bhava, in the Atma Bhava later. But with this Vicharana of how many Tattvas, we can merge the effect Tattvas in the cause Tattva and get out of multiplicity of the effect Tattvas. Is it not? That way they are helpful. Now let us see what Uddhavaji says. ओम अतद्वाविंशोऽध्यायः उद्धव उवाच कथितत्वानि विश्वेश सङ्ख्यातान् ऋषिभिः प्रभो नवैकादश पञ्चत्रीणि आत्तत्वमिह शुश्रुम केचित् षड्विंशतिं प्राहुः अपरे पञ्चविंशतिं सप्तैके नवषट् केचित् चत्वार्येकादशापरे केचित् सप्तदश प्राहुः षोडशैके त्रयोदश एतावत्त्वं हि संख्यानां ऋषयो यद्विवक्षया गायन्ति पृथगायुष्मन् इदं नो वक्तुमर्हसि. श्रीभगवानुवाच युक्तं च सन्ति सर्वत्र भाषन्ते ब्राह्मणाः यथा मायां मदीयामुद्गृह्य वदतां किं नु दुर्घटं नैतदेवं यथार्थत्वं यदहं वच्मि तथा एवं विवदतां हेतुं शक्तयो मे दुरत्ययाः यासां व्यतिकरादासीद् विकल्पो वदतां वदं प्राप्ते शमदमेप्येति वादस्तमनुशाम्यति परस्परानुप्रवेशात् तत्त्वानां पुरुषर्षभा पौर्वापर्यप्रसङ्ख्यानं यथा वक्तुर्विवक्षितम् एकस्मिन्नभिदृश्यन्ते प्रविष्टानीतराणि च पूर्वस्मिन् वा परस्मिन् वा तत्त्वे तत्त्वानि सर्वशः पौर्वापर्यमतो मीशां प्रसङ्ख्यानमभीप्सतां यथा विविक्तं यद्वक्त्रं गृह्णीमो युक्तिसम्भवात् अनाद्यविद्यायुक्तस्य पुरुषस्यात्मवेदनं स्वतो न सम्भवेत् अन्यः तत्त्वज्ञो ज्ञानदो भवेत् पुरुषेश्वरयोरत्र न वैलक्षण्यमण्वपे तदन्यकल्पना पार्थ ज्ञानं च प्रकृतेर्गुणः प्रकृतिर्गुणसाम्यं वै प्रकृतेर्नात्मनो गुणाः सत्वं रजस्तम इति स्थित्युत्पत्त्यन्त हेतवः सत्वं ज्ञानं रजः कर्म तमो ज्ञानमिहोच्यते गुणव्यतिकरः कालः स्वभावः सूत्रमेव च पुरुषः प्रकृतिर्व्यक्तम् अहङ्कारो नभो निलः ज्योतिरावः क्षितिरिति तत्त्वान्युक्तानि मे नव श्रोत्रं त्वग्दर्शनं घ्राणः जिह्वेति ज्ञानशक्तयः वाक्पाण्युपस्थपायुङ्घ्रीः कर्माण्यङ्गोभयं मनः शब्दस्पर्शो रसो गन्धो रूपं चेत्यर्थजातयः गति उक्ति उत्सर्गशिल्पानि कर्मायतनसिद्धयः सर्गादौ प्रकृतिर्हि अस्य कार्यकारणरूपिणे सत्त्वादिभिर्गुणैर्धत्ते पुरुषो व्यक्त ईक्षते व्यक्तादयो विकुर्वाणाः धातवः पुरुषेक्षया लब्धवीर्याः सुजन्त्यण्डं संहताः प्रकृतेर्बलात् सप्तैव धातव इति तत्रार्धा पञ्चखादयः ज्ञानम् आत्मोभयाधारः ततो देहेन्द्रियासवः षडित्यत्रापि भूतानि पञ्चषष्ठः परः पुमान् तैर्युक्त आत्मसम्भूतैः सुरुष्ट्वेदं समुपाविशत चत्वार्येवेति तत्रापि तेज आपोन्नमात्मनः जातानि तैरिदं जातं जन्मावयविनः खलो संख्याने सप्तदशके भूतमात्रेन्द्रियाणि च पञ्च पञ्चैकमनसा आत्मा सप्तदशः स्मृतः तद्वत् षोडश संख्याने आत्मैव मन उच्यते भूतेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चैव मन आत्मा त्रयोदशः एकादशत्व आत्मासौ महाभूतेन्द्रियाणि च अष्टौ प्रकृतयश्चैव पुरुषश्च नवेत्यथ इति नाना प्रसंख्यानं तत्त्वानां ऋषिभिः कृतं सर्वं न्याय्यं युक्तिमत्वात् विदुषां किम् अशोभनम् ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं कस्तूरीतिलकं ललाटफलके वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे नवमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुं करे कङ्कणं सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्रीपरिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपालचूडामणिः श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणतिलकं यद् वैष्णवानां धनं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यमेव ममलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते यत्र ज्ञानविरागभक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यम् आविष्कृतं तत् शृण्वन् प्रपठन् विचारणपरः भक्त्या विमुच्येन्नरः ॐ स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चत कर्हिचित् योगीन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुकाय ब्रह्मरूपिणे संसारसर्वदष्टं यः विष्णुरातममोमुचत् अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्म द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अपाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिः हित्वा अन्यथा रूपम स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः उद्धव उवाच श्रीभगवानुवाच Saluting the Lord, saluting the Gurus. Our purpose of all this study of Shastras is to expand the intellect in the understanding of something beyond what we see. From that understanding of something beyond what we see, all we see, we understand not to be so important or real. The moment when they are not accepted as real or important, all our hold of this and this hold of that on us, which was creating the unnecessary samsara, goes away. Then the inquiry about what is beyond will become certain. In the inquiry of what is beyond, through that intellectual understanding, we reach nearer and nearer to the absolute self or the truth. Though it is said in few sentences, but it's a process which we have to keep on doing. So, in short, in one language, what Shastra does is makes us understand about the Mithya of the world and about the Satyatva of the Paramatma. Through the understanding of the world's Mithyatva, the Shastra makes us do the rejection of the world through Neti, Neti, Neti. And through the Satyatva Atma sadhana of Soham, 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 the Shastra makes us realize our essential nature, realize the Tattva of the entire world. Once that experience sets in, then there is nothing to bind us. These things of what Shastra is teaching us, what we have to learn, understand, what practices we have to do, where to reach as goal, these things have to be every day remembered, should be every day recollected. Then only there will come a stability in our study and there will be a purpose in our study. There will be an inspiration to our study. If that main thing is forgotten, we lose interest in this. So that's how every second day, third day, we are reminding ourselves. Now, in this course of trying to understand Shastra, in this 11th skandha mentioned for giving us mukti, is possible only through the jnanam. Every of chapter, Bhagavan is giving variety of knowledges. Now, here in the 11th, 22nd chapter, because Uddhavji asked, Bhagavan had to touch upon the topic of the tattvas which are making the world. So, Uddhavji, what did he say? Ki kati tattvani vishvesha sankhyaatani Rushibhihi, hey Prabhu. Hey Prabhu, by rishis, how many of the tattvas that are counted which are making this world? Entire world, the inner world as well as the outer world. कितने मूल तत्व पदार्थ जाकर बनाए. Like as I said yesterday in one of the class example, the physicists, they tried to find the moola elements, then they found 60, 80, 100, 129, 134 now. In the same way, our past rishis also, where from this Jagat is made, what are the moola tattvas they inquired. Is it not? Like when you see a house, when you inquire a moola tattva, then you will see there are bricks or stones, then there are cement, then there's concrete. All of them are the Mula Tattvas which made the building stand there. In the same way, the entire Jagat, where from the Jagat made up, what are the Tattva and how many Tattvas? Kati Tattva. In one of the occasion, you said 28. Nava Ekadasha, 20 ho gaye, Pancha, 25 ho gaye, Trini, Tina, 15, 3, 30, 28. Iti Tvam iti Sushruma, Atha Tvam iti Sushruma. आपने ऐसे 28 कहा, somewhere I remember. Now, other than you, I listen from others also. These are the tattva. देखो, how many variety of answers can come? If the truth should be one only. How come each one conceived in different numbers? And they are ranging from one saying as 4, other saying as 40 or 30. अरे 10 गुना फर्क है यार इनमें. Is it not? And Bhagavan's answer is so simple. See, when one is made into divided into many, then the number is grown. When the many are merged in few, then the number is reduced. Is it not? Like how many parts of the body you have? So we say 20, 30. But again, in each part, if you inquire, then again, like in the hand only, the shoulder is different, the arm is different, the elbow is different, this hand is different, wrist is different, then the palm is different, fingers. अब देखो नंबर बढ़ गया कि नहीं. You can say like 2 legs I have, but 2 legs is a correct answer. That way too. But again, if you have fingers are different, then calf muscles are different. आगे का portion, then knees, thigh. सब करो तो फिर बढ़ेगा ना. So Bhagavan's answer is like that. It will be shown also. We will see. And if somebody is interested, it is a very interesting topic to study and understand about the tattvas also with which the Jagat is made. And that gives a clarity. Finally, what will be said? Like in Mandukya Upanishad also, all of them has come from Maya, and Maya Nama Navidyate. There's nothing. Sacha Maya Navidyate. Do you see that? Remember? All this is from Maya, and that Maya is not there. What? Because in Paramatma, Maya is not there. That's how, for some time, it will be entertaining to count the Tattva. Like it is always entertaining to count the number of malas, number of mantras chanted for japa in the beginning. Exciting. Number of times chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita. Later on, there is no number. In that name, in that japa, you are surrendering to the Lord again and again. You are doing namaskar to the Lord again and again. So you are doing deeply that. How does the number matter in that? Om Namo Narayana. In that mantra, when you recognize Narayana, and to him by surrendering, you are extending your salutation. This is a beautiful practice and experience. How, what the number is related to that? Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Shri Matre Namaha. So chant this stotra 11 times. What does it do? Kya 11, 12? One time you chant and just Sanityo Balabdi Swarupo Hamatma. Sanityo Balabdi Swarupo Hamatma. Sanityo Balabdi Swarupo Hamatma. Okay, in this way. Now, Kechit Shadvimshatim Prahu, some say 26, Apare Panchavimshatim, some say 25, Sapta Eke, some of the groups say 7 only, Nava, some are happy by saying 9, Shada, some say Che, Kechit Chatvari, शको लोग कहते इतना कहाँ है भाई, 4 ही तो है. एकादश अवरे, in between somebody comes and shows these and say 11 are them. Then केचित् सप्तदशः 17 है कहते हैं. षोडश एके, some say 16, some say त्रयोदश, some are saying 13. So 13, 16, 17, 11, 4, 6, 7, 9, 25, 26, then 28. So many opinions of the rishis munis about the number of tattvas with which the entire jagat is made. Now, etavatvam is sankhyanam. Sankhyanam etavatvam. The counting of the sankhya of these tattvas, rishis have done it. Yat vivakshaya gayanti. What exactly they want to convey through them. And that vivaksha, desire to express while doing so, Pruthak, each one's vivaksha is different. Vivaksham aktu ikcha. How and with what purpose, with what idea? Each one spoke in different way. A Ayushman, a long living Lord, eternal Lord. Ayushman means Naha Vaktum Arhasi. Please tell us. So, finally, what is your opinion about their opinion that why each one has said in this way? Sankhyanam etavattvam yad vivakshaya rusheha gayanti. And that also in that, why that pruthaktva is there. So, yat vivakshaya means how did they say ki these are these many tattva? And what is your final opinion? Because I understand their standpoint, and that satisfies me. Why did they say so? So that my respect for them is maintained intact. That they said these are the number of tattvas with some logic. So that satisfies me. So I won't hate my rishis or gurus. But the answers being various, number being various, what is final opinion according to you? This I'll hold on to. Please tell me. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. Wonderful answers Bhagavan says. First of all, what it says, Yuktam cha santi sarvatra. So sarvatra yuktam santi means what? In whatever the numbers you mentioned, which are the opinion of each of the rishi according to them about the number of tattvas, all of them are yuktam cha santi. They are all correct with their own logic. Bhashante Brahmana Yatha. The Brahmana, the Rishi Munis, whatever they are saying at this number, that number, from one or the other, their own yukti logic, they are all correct. So we will accept them. Nobody is wrong. Because they are all rishis. They won't say just like that. They said some standpoint. And from that standpoint, it is correct. Now, when they say this, how they are saying Bhagavan here, some logically or sarcastically, humorously also saying a sentence. What is that? Maya madiyam udgruhya vadatam kimnu durghatam. There are two ways in this. Ki, they are taking the support of Maya while explaining these tattvas. And Maya is what? Aghatita ghatana patiyasi Maya. Maya is such one which will make happen even the impossible. Okay, therefore, to each of the rishi, the Maya, Janita, Tattvas are appearing to be different in number, and whatever they could see, they mentioned it as that. Second little subtle thing is what? Whenever the rishi spoke about the number of Tattvas making the world, they have forgotten the oneness of Paramatma. When they have forgotten oneness of Paramatma, they are caught up by the Maya. They were under the influence of Maya. They all spoke about the world's reality, and also it is made about these tattvas. If they have transcended the Maya, they would have not seen any Jagat only. Then how will they think about what made the Jagat? What are the tattvas which made the Jagat? So in a subtle manner, though they are rishis, but then they are in the making of Rishi, not a touch of the truth, or perhaps, as I said in the beginning in introduction, to give the intellectual information for some entertainment to the students or the audience. They, knowing inside that there is no world, there are no tattvas made in the world, what is there is only Parabrahma Paramatma, who is one without second. Even though knowing that, because students are not ready for it, and they are interested with curiosity about the world only, to satisfy them, taking the help of Maya at different level in different form, each of the rishi gave this number as the cause, or these are the number of tattvas that are the cause for the world. So भगवान का कहने में कुछ सरकाजम ह्यूमर क्या है, ये जब माया के फंस जाते हैं ना, अब बोलने में क्या कम ज्यादा होता है, कोई भी कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं. What it says, माया मुद्गृह्या vadatam. Those who hold on to Maya and speak in the basis of Maya, kimnu durgatam. What is impossible for them to say? So in that the subtle thought also Bhagavan contains. Says, what is that? At each level of that Rishi, whoever said these many are tattvas are making the world, though each one of them are correct at one that particular point, but finally all their sayings are wrong only because in the Maya only this Jagat is there, these tattvas are there. when the Maya transcended, only Paramatma is there. So Mayam Udgruhya Vatatam Kimnu Durgatam. जो भी वो लोग कह रहे हैं या माया के इन्फ्लुएंस से कह रहे हैं या माया का सहारा लेकर कह रहे हैं, therefore what you mentioned as 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they can be 40, they can be 60, they can be 80, आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो. So what is final thought, your opinion, what is your final opinion? Uddhav ji asked, no, Bhagwan gave his opinion ki from the Maya standpoint, when you see and say everyone is correct, when you transcend Maya and say all are wrong. Why all are wrong? Because there is no world other than Paramatma. Therefore, how can you call that world is made of these many or those many tattvas? Maya transcended, all are wrong. But from the Maya standpoint, everything is right. How it is right, he is going to say. As we already said, that some places they mix and say, some other place they divide and say. Wherever they say mixedly, then the number will reduce. Wherever they open and say, then the number is more. That's the only reason. Otherwise, everyone is saying correctly. Bhagavan finally tells from his opinion, there are 9 tattva. Then they only subsequently, through mutual combination, become so many. So main answer is, the ones who are seeing through the Maya and saying through the Maya, they can say anything, everything. Therefore, if you and I also, along with them, go and see through Maya, we should accept whatever they say is correct. Then when you transcend it and see, only one tattva. That is what? Yuktam cha santi sarvatra. Whatever they say, everything is right. And everyone are saying differently, that also is right. Bhashante Brahmana Yatha. So by saying this, Bhagavan is protecting the Shraddha of Uddhavji in all the Rishi Muni. Because one place if the Shraddha is broken, then everywhere the Shraddha goes away, then we don't follow them. तो वो भगवान ऐसा नहीं कह रहे सब ऋषि लोग बुद्ध लोग हैं, वो लोग माया के द्वारा देखकर जगत है ही नहीं उसको है कह रहे हैं और उसको डिवाइड भी कर रहे इतने तत्व करके. He is not talking that final truth, though that is final truth, but that disturbs Uddhava now. And whoever is studying Bhagavata, their mind will be disturbed that so many rishis have so many opinions, therefore all of them are wrong, we should not follow rishi. Not only in this aspect, in every aspect. Therefore, we are without anybody to guide. गड़बड़ हो जाएगा उससे. Therefore, everyone is right. And through Maya, any number is right. Beyond Maya, only one truth is there. That is right. Not even Jagat is there. Clear? Now, how do they fight? How do each one say their own opinion? Okay? Naitadevam yathaktatvam yadaham vachmita tada evam vivadatam hetuhu shaktayo me duratyayaha. That's what. See, na etad evam yatha attatvam. Yatha tvam atha etad evam na. What you said is exactly, it is not so. Then what is correct then? Yatha aham vachmi tat tatha. Yad aham vachmi tat tatha. Whatever you are saying is absolutely wrong. What I am saying is absolutely right. This way, those are biased by the angle from where they are seeing and possessed by that biasness, therefore want to establish what they say is as right, are the ones who argue with others that what you say is wrong, this is right. You understand that very good logic, understanding in a, बताते ना कि for everything in this world, there are 3 ways to look at it. One is your standpoint of view, second my standpoint of view, third is ultimate standpoint of view. Is it not? And the viewpoint depends on your point of view. Every time, जहाँ से आप देख रहे हो उसके हिसाब से. Is it not an accident happens, मानो चोट लगा, 20 people are there, you inquire them. No 2 people say the same. Because from different angles they are seeing, from different mindset they are speaking, therefore each one will say differently. And many of them pass opinions more than saying the facts there. Because to say the fact, you have to be so alert to see it. But nobody is alert in this world that much to see exactly what is happening. They were अपने ख्यालों के हिसाब बोल जाते हैं. is upset. Nobody says correctly. Is it not? So this is how evam vivatatam. And then how they are doing this vivada? What is the basis for their vivada? Shaktayah me. The cause is my own Maya and its possibilities. The Maya and its possibilities is so difficult to transcend. Therefore, they look through that only. Therefore, while whatever the length they are using and seeing, that only appears to be correct for them. Is it not? In between any castes or creeds or religions, all of them just get biased in one angle. Therefore, whatever they say is they think they are right. They don't want to look from other standpoint. That's how the mata religions or caste creeds are made. At one place they help because we stick to a particular pattern of living, LIVNG, that helps us in evolution. But if you are not, if you are too rigid and try to fight out with others, saying that you are alone, right? The same system become cause of all quarrel. And in this world, because of caste and religion, the number of wars and deaths happened have not happened by all, even civil wars, world wars also. Anyway, so evam viditam hetu shaktayo me duratyaha. So the my shaktayaha means my Maya, and in that the three gunas are there. They are the cause, because of which so many different vivada opinions are there in each of the rishi. Okay, now we'll start. Yasam vyatikarat asit vikalpo vadatam padam prapte samadame pyeti Vadahatam anushamyati. Interesting. Very subtle class, subtle thought it is. What is that? Yasam vyatikarat. Vadatam vikalpaha padam asit. Okay. Vadatam. For the people who are giving their opinions, the difference is there because of the difference in something. And the difference of something, whatever it is in your own antakarana. In that antakarana, shama, the mind and senses, when they are quietened, means prapte shamadame. When the shamadama is achieved by them, then apyeti, all the vikalpas go away. Then when the vikalpas go away, vadaha tam anushamyati. When the vikalpas go away, the vada also becomes quietened. Means what? Uncontrolled speech of the karmendriyas, uncontrolled mana, the antakarana, is the cause for making each one's their own opinion, and they being separate from each other, they are doing vada and fighting. But if at all they do these two things, what is that? Do the shama, quieten the mind. Do the dhamma, control the indriyas. What will happen? In the control mind of indriyas, they see Paramatma. When the Paramatma is seen, they don't see Jagat. When they don't see Jagat, they don't see number of tattvas. When they don't see number of tattva, then they don't have different opinions that tattvas are 9 or 10 or 11. Therefore, what is my opinion? See that which is beyond. From that standpoint, if you see, only one is there. And then Y9, Y7, Y17, 118, he is going to say all of them little later. But Bhagavan now, first and foremost only, is giving the wisdom. In the first wisdom, what he said, those who speak by straying through the Maya, Maya being infinite in its power, any number of opinions people can have. In the second one, he said, Maya and Trigunas are the Karana, because of which they are doing the Vivada. That what I said is right, what you say is wrong. Now, Yasam Vyatikarad Asit Vikalpaha Vadatam Padam Prapte Samadame Apyeti Vadaha Tam Anushamyati. Means what? This is how it is. What is there is Bhagavan, is Maya Shakti. It has three gunas. Those three gunas function or show their effect on the mana and indriyas. With the effect of these gunas on mana and indriya, the mana and indriya are analyzing or assessing or understanding. So many tattvas are there making the world. But if these mana indriyas are made controlled fully, then they transcend the three gunas. Then they transcend the Maya. Then they transcend themselves and merge in Bhagwan. Once they see the Bhagwan or Paramatma, Jagat is not there, Tattvas are not there, different opinions are not there, Vada is not there in between them. Therefore, what is silently hinted by the Lord to Uddhava, when you are going to Badrinath on my instruction for your meditation, in around many people will come and try to do Vada Vivada to you. So, what you have to do there, you accept everyone opinion and don't indulge in taking one party and fight with the other. You follow what I say. What I said is do Shamadama with the discover Paramatma. And when you see him, he alone is there. There's no Jagat. No question of analyzing the Jagat as to how many tattvas are made. Then, if the Paramatma is not known, then at the level of Mana Indriyas functioning, though to that too the Mana Indriya are influenced by the Trigunas of the Maya, everyone whatever he says is right from his standpoint. Everyone right is therefore you don't argue even that way also with them. Some things are very subtle. These cannot be publicly said, but once in a while you can have information. What is that key? Truth always remains one. Then the one who sees the truth, he doesn't talk any other thing or any opinions. If somebody is talking something else and making some opinion, definitely has not seen the truth. Therefore, he is seeing from the ignorant standpoint. So, from the ignorant standpoint, there's nothing like correct or wrong because ignorance itself is wrong. They want to save our skin. What you have to say? Okay, out of ignorance, he has done mistake. Like I am correct. I have not done anything wrong. But you misunderstood me. Then what I have to do? If you have your maturity and understanding, you will not misunderstand me. You are always in tune with me. If some misunderstanding happened, means what? You are somewhere wrong in your own thinking. What I have to do? I can't fight with you. I only quieten my mind by saying so that okay, they are in the influence of some wrong data, wrong thinking, or wrong understanding. May the God protect them. Other than that, what can I do? Again, I am repeating, truth is one only. If the one who discovers truth, his way of speaking is different. If he doesn't speak the truth, he is under the influence of untruth or ignorance or Maya. So then we have to be sympathetic towards that person and forgive for our safety. Because if he had discovered the truth, he would have not spoken like that. At least he should seek the truth. This is my decision, you just listen. When the other person says, we have to say, okay, thank you, bye. But if somebody says, this is what my thinking process, this is what I feel as my opinion, what do you say? Is it right? Like Uddhava asked. So many people are saying so many as the tattvas. What is your final opinion, sir? Therefore, that his final opinion, first only he is saying. So, because that's the main thing. About how many tattvas, they're all secondary, they're only academic. In the same way, in the Vyavahara, we have to be pakka. In our being absolutely correct, authentic, Shastra Drushti se, then we can see others and they are under influence of some notion, some wrong information, some lower thinking, some biasness, some compulsion. What can we do other than doing Shama? In the whole world, that's but this doesn't work in the world society. There, the legal system is there, then they assess what is good or bad for the total. According to that, those people are named as the culprits are convicted, then they are punished. But Guru and Bhagavan, they don't punish anyone. He is under the influence of ignorance. He will only suffer his own ignorance. We only try to give him wisdom. If he takes the wisdom, he doesn't do mistake. That's why Lord Shiva has got the three eyes. One is the Nyaya Chakshu, second is Daya Chakshu, third one is Jnana Chakshu. Through the Chakshu of Nyaya, whatever is correct, legal, logical, justifiable, that result he gives. Through the other Chakshu, if somebody comes with devotion and surrender, you sees through the Daya Chakshu, where little more compassion is there. Therefore, according to Nyaya, even though that fellow deserves punishment, but he will not give that much punishment. That's called the kindness, compassion, I. Third is Jnana Chakshu. Through that Jnana Chakshu, nobody is there as a Jiva other than me, none to be punished. Jnana Chakshu. Is it not? And we also, when we open our Jnana Chakshu, we transcend all. We only are seeing truth and truth alone. And at the highest level, everything good or bad or anything is happening in the light of that Paramatma. And all of them neutralize each other. All opposites become equalized when the vision of the ultimate truth happens. Means what? Good and bad both are same. Birth and death both are same. Young and old are both are same. Labha, Hani, Jaya, Parajaya. Both of them together make the tamasha of the Jagat. इज इट नॉट? बताओ, एक ने जीता, अब दूसरा नहीं हारा तो ये जीतेगा क्या? और एक गेम चल रहा है, दो खेल रहे हैं, तो एक जीतेगा हारेगा. समटाइम दिस फेलो विल विन, समटाइम दस फेलो विल विन. He may win with this but may lose with the other one. In the ultimate, even sukha dukkha and the insult and respect, all of them samana finally. And that's why in a person's life, if you see, in every year's Yugadi Panchanga Shravanam, Avmanam Rajya Pujam. They say 2 Avmanam, 8 Pujam. He thinks so, 6 more Pujam, 2 Avmanam. This in the last year ka iska thoda balance dekho, so everything will be same only. Only to say in this year you will be more insulted or more respected. Therefore, when you are respected, you have to be more careful because you become arrogant to do mistakes, so that next year you will be insulted. Is it not? So too, Adayam is 5, expenditure is 9. If a person Adayam is 5, expenditure is 9, people think that it is a wrong Jatakam. It is a correct one, in fact. Because logically, see, if the 5 is profit, 9 is spending, where from the 4 he can spend? If somebody's income is 5, expenditure is 9, he should not worry. The people around should be worry, because he will take the 4 from them because he'll have to spend it. And the one whose Adayam is 9, expense is 5, then he'll have to be worried. What will the 4 happen to? It will go to somebody, then he will become miserable there because mera kisi ko dena pada. These Jyotishas are not studied like this so superficially, as just we listen the academic numbers. ऐसा नहीं होता वो. Very सूक्ष्म it is. Like according to your Jataka, all the grahas are in so negative position that you will suffer. No, we all at the superficial will take, ऐसा है क्या? But philosophically seen, it is very good that all your prarabdha is getting away. So that let the prarabdha go on, then you invest your time, energy with doing all the punya and dharma karma, so that the positivity is gained more and more. Mhm. Life is very funny. As I give you this example, common. Sweet looks so sweet, but the more sweet you take, by becoming diabetic, don't we kill every part of our body? Bitter looks so bitter, but by balancing the sweetness, is it not giving health to our body? In the same way, Sukha looks to be good, but that's what binds us by Raga Ityadi, by taking us away from the God. But Dukkha is like bitter, and people remember in the time of Dukkha only the God more. सुख दुख में सुबरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काय को है. लेकिन ना, people say, अब सुख है तो why should I waste time in remembering God? Let us enjoy. So these are all the calculations change when we become subtle in thinking. All this thinking will be given to us in Vidura Niti to some extent. And when you become deep in your contemplation, you will see the reversal of every understanding in this world. Everything will be reversed. That's called the reverse of the vision, which takes you to the Lord. The Lord vision is reversed, therefore we became worldly. That's all. Anyway, now here we are here. Bhagavan says, Yasam Vyastikarat Asit Vikalpaha. Because of the disturbance of the which gunas, there was an option for the people to make their own opinion and argue with each other. Clear? And what are the ones because of which there is difference in opinion? The mana, buddhi and indriyas only, no? And then indriyas and mana, how they are forming different opinion? Because the influence of the gunas on them. Sattva, rajas, tamas. Now, what is to be done? When you bring the mind and indriyas freed from the triguna aspects, triguna's influence, then the mana indriyas no more functional. You don't need to form the opinion. Then what do you see? Is the self only. That is why भगवान यहाँ कहते हैं शमदम प्राप्ते शमदमे अप्येति. So all the vikalpa disappears when through shamadama, when you quieten the mind and senses. Then what happens when the vikalpas have gone away? Where is the vadam? Ki I am correct, you are wrong. No, this is a sweet way of giving सबसे बड़ा गाली. Gali means scolding. You know, if you allow me to say in Hindi, he is telling to Uddhav, अबे चुप भाई, don't think worry about it. अपने मन इंद्रियों को शांत करके know the Paramatma. You need not argue with anybody. You need not worry how many tattvas are there. That is the endless topic. So in a very subtle manner, Bhagavan saying, shut your mind and senses and know the truth. There's no meaning or need in taking the world as real and finding the cause to be these many or those many tattvas, and the others say something else, and you spend your entire life only in disproving others, in proving yourself. Is it not? In all the egoistic, ignorant people, this is what happens. In trying to disprove others and in trying to prove themselves, they waste all the precious moments of being together and enjoying together. You know, there are the golden days where the wife was not educated and husband was little educated. Therefore, she has no opinion of hers. Whatever he says, she will listen. The samsara is to go on nicely. Now the wife is more educated, which husband is not able to tolerate. So therefore, they have ego as well as ignorance. Therefore, the discussion starts. We will go out. Somehow they like it because they can be seeing the world expanded other than each other stupid face, seeing which they were caught up at one time. With that, they say yes. But immediately she says, we go to temple. He says, we go to movie. Then there is no end to that. Argument, vivada, because ego and ignorance. Is it not? If any one of them sacrifice their ego or give up the ego under the ignorance, under the influence of wisdom, immediately okay, चलो आज सिनेमा जाएंगे, कल आप जो कह रहे हो मंदिर जाएंगे, हो गया ना? This subtle thing we never understand. How we at our home, instead of making a swarga, we make naraka. Instead of making swarga, we make naraka because of opinions formed because of ego, strong ego and ignorance. What is wisdom there? We are together not to follow each one's opinion. We are here to discuss mutually and find what is best. That is wisdom. When the wisdom is there, how does the ego is there? And this person will say, भाई मैं आज सिनेमा इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि ये है. She is very good and she says I'm going to temple because it's this day. He will agree. Bhagavan says here, do shamadama, reach to Paramatma. From that standpoint, there is no jagat. Therefore, there is no karana. Therefore, no discussion about how many tattvas are made. Therefore, there is no opinion. Therefore, there is no vada with others. So, he says, prapte shamadame apyeti vadaha. Prapte shamadame vikalpa apyeti vada tama anushamyati. If you see from this side, till you don't discover the self, okay, till you are at the level of mind intellect, that also uncontrolled and also under the influence of gunas, you will keep on forming your opinions. So to others. And no two people's opinions are same because their mind, senses and the gunas working on them are different. Therefore, you will end up only in making vikalpa followed by mutual argument. Then you are never at peace with yourself or peace with that person, or mutual peace is never there. What remains is peace is only. I was saying, if you don't know the self, you will never be peaceful in yourself and with others. You will go on forming opinion and you argue mutually. So too from this side, quieten the mind and senses and see the self. There's no point in argument. What is said here is a very high philosophy. Huh? We are telling it in a very light manner. When the person to whom this clicks, That by quietening mind and senses, I have to see the Lord. This is the only purpose for which I came. Do you think He will value anything in this world? Do you think He'll have argument with anyone? No, because He says that's not my goal. That's disturbing my mind and senses. I'm protecting mind and senses for my meditation and know the truth. Okay, जो आप कह रहे हो सही है कहता है. He will not argue and others are frustrated. You know, Swamiji, before coming to your class, my husband used to fight with me so much. Anything I say, he will say, no, no. He used to make the hell out of the house. Then I told somehow, convinced him, जाओ स्वामी जी कुछ अकल लेके आना अगर उनके पास है तो. Now another problem came. What is that? Anything I say, he is agreeing. I'm more frustrated now. I'm not getting any point to show my Durga Bhadrakali Swarupa to fight with him. Finally I said, you are a Buddha. He said, yeah, you are right. You understand? Interesting it is. Yeah, you are right. There's nobody in this world is wrong. All are right its own way. You just say yes करके चले आना. Because that's not our purpose. देखो how important it is, but how difficult it is for us to understand. That for us the important thing is Bhagavan and He is transcendental. To experience Him, we have to transcend the upadhi. Before transcending, we have to control them. The control of upadhis, indriyas is called dhamma and mana control is called shama dhamma. Shama. Then how can we enter into a contradictory project of arguing with others, which is going to disturb our mind and the senses? नहीं कुछ नहीं सब ठीक है इस जगत में. If this one thing clicks, whatever you do is right. And I protect myself with my wisdom. What I have to do, I know it. You come to class, you are right. You didn't come, you are right. You went halfway, you are right. You put on the phone and it's going on, and you went and saw somebody else's lecture or somewhere, then also you are right. When I say it, I am saying my mind. Or else, if I have doubt and I ask a question, then you will give such an answer which is never satisfactory to me. Because basically, I don't want you to not to come to class. Basically, you want to bunk the class. अब बेस में ही अब गड़बड़ है, उसका कुछ भी बोलो बोलो वो जमेगा नहीं. This I am very late, just now I am learning. Very recently, maybe कुछ second पहले उससे पहले I am learning whatever you do is right. No argument in me. Because by arguing, I am only disturbing my mind. And to my disturbance, because of my own argument, I'll add like adding the chili powder to the wound. When I ask you, your answer is putting salt and pepper or all this mirchi to my own wound, because your answer will be like that. Better just accept, right, right, right. In general, I am saying opinion. Then only you are at peace. There are a lot of reasons for this. Because the Ishvara only knows it's Maya, it is Ananda Shakti, it is in total Prarabdha to Vyakti Swabhava, his Prarabdha, your Prarabdha with him. In इतने सारे चीज़ों को लेकर एक घटना घटता है. Now all of them you can't understand. And you can't avoid the thing also. Then what to do? You accept. Like, we studied this in Vidura Niti. That's why Vidura Niti's importance. For the person who has no power, for him Kshama is Guna. And for the person who has got the power, the Kshama is Bhushanam. It's a quality for the weak person, and it is an ornament for the strong person. What? The Kshama. Kshama means accepting. Accepting means non-argument. Anybody asks your opinion, you say, what is your opinion? Then you say, your opinion is right. Oga! You are transcending the mind by this one simple trick. Because mind is the one which makes opinions. When you stop making opinion, you are beyond the mind. And one thing which helps always is what? There are only two things in world. That's what next sloka actually. I mean, advanced saying. Only two beings are there in this world. One is me, second is Ishvara. When I denied myself, I have accepted what Ishvara said. And Ishvara can be in the Samashti form, and in that Samashti, Ishvara is there in your form. Ishvara made you not to come to class, only to test me. How do I receive it? Is it not? Then when I receive it properly by accepting your opinion as right, Ishvara is satisfied. Everything has satisfaction, things settle. What is the settlement of the thing? The mind is always cool. There's so many things. Anyway, come to this one, very interesting sloka. This is understood. Prapte shamadame vikalpaha piyeti vadaha tam anu shamyati. When you achieve shamadama, the vikalpas go away. There's no point will be there in for argument. Then everything becomes shanta. So there are 3-4 things in that verse. Quieten your indriyas and mana and see Paramatma. Don't disturb them by yourself forming an opinion, seeing this opinion something other than others, and try to establish your opinion, and for that argue with others. This has no meaning. Even if you win the argument, you are not realizing truth. You are only in the world again. It's like if you become a Karodpati, you are only Karodpati. You are not Sadhaka and Siddha Purusha. Is it not? Even you become Indra, Chandra, Mahendra, you are only Indra. You are not Paramatma. That's how it is. Now, next one it says, Paraspara Anupraveshatu Tattwanam Purusharshabha Paurva Aparya Prasankhyanam Yatha Vaktu Vivakshitam. So, Paraspara Anupraveshat Tattvanam. In general, why there is difference in the number of tattvas in their opinion? Because Paraspara Anupravesha means they mutually enter into each other. How do they enter? Paurva Aparya Prasankhyanam. Because through the Karya and Karana, they sometimes make the Karana into more Karyas. Then the number is more. When they merge the Karya in the Karana, the number reduces. And in whatever the way he wanted to say, he says, Yatha Vaktu Vivakshitam. जैसा वो कहना चाहता है उस हिसाब से वो कारण में कार्य को लय करके या कारण से कार्यों को अलग करके he will make the number. You need not be worried about it. You be wise enough to observe he is making the number more by bringing out more karya from karana, or he is making the number less because the karyas have merged in karana. So if one is saying 16, if I is saying 9, means what? In the 9 wala, the karya are merged in karana, therefore they become less. In the 15 wala, the karana expressed as more karya, therefore number 15 ho gaya. He looked from this standpoint, he looked at this standpoint. Let them fight, you don't fight. That's what he says, Paraspara Anupraveshat. Now this opinion is that of Krishna. This suggestion is by Krishna to Uddhava and all of us, and not for them, because they are holding on to their number. These people are holding their number, they are arguing. And both of them came to saying that मैं कहता हूँ 15, वो कह रहे हैं 9. Now what you say when they come individually, you say 15 वाले को you are right, because you know he has made more karya, therefore number is more. When the 9 wala say, you say you are also right, because you know he made karya merged in karana. When both of them together they say, they come, you say I don't know, I'm not wiser than you, you argue. Because if they are not agreeing to each other, they will not agree to you also. Then you will be फंस जाएंगे. Like दो शत्रु मिलकर आपको पीटेंगे, इसलिए किसी एक की तरफा कभी लेना ही नहीं है. I don't know कहना safest है. When one person comes, you can educate him. Both of them come together. That's why even judge also with all his wisdom, he cannot pass judgment. He will only refer the law books. According to law, he says it is not his opinion. Because he can't pass his opinion. Otherwise, if you punish someone, that fellow take revenge on you. Very careful. So, Paurva Pariya Prasankhyanam Yatha Vaktu Vivakshitam Paraspara Anupravesha Tattvanam. So, the Tattvas merge or come out from the Karana. According to that, the Sankhya becomes smaller or bigger one. And Yatha Vaktu Vivakshitam. In this also, It is vivaksha of the Bhakta. Vivaksha means desire. He is only holding on to that. उनको अच्छा लग रहा है वो. Is it not? So how? देखो, likes and dislikes have no logic. You don't be in any likes logic for yourself. Likes or if others are there, you don't get caught up by fighting. Like you have made a house. The wife asks you what paint to make. You let's नाटक करो शुरू में ऐसा करेंगे ऐसा करेंगे. She was so angry. Then says, no, 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 ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा करेंगे. Then you slowly little act like argue with her. And finally feel that, oh, you are losing to her. And say, ठीक है, तुम जो चाहते हो करो. Do all this natak, but keeping in the mind, कौन सा कलर तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? That fellow of 10 years is going to anyway spoil all walls. Is it not? And both wife and wisdom, if they are educated, wisdom, wise people, they don't say what I like or dislike, what is good for eyes. What we do at home, for that, what is the contrast color that will be helpful. Is it not? According to that, you have to make the colors. There's no liking, dislike in this world at all. Which food I like, even if I go to hotel, it's a wrong question. Which is good for me? You should ask that one. Okay, now the next one. Ekasmin abhidrushyante pravishthani tarani cha purvasmin va parasmin va tatve tatvani sarvashah. देखो, there is one way in the Laya Prakriya, all the tattvas can merge in one. And in the Utthana or expression Prakriya, from one tattva, things can come out so many, and they are mutually different from each other, and they are different from the basic cause also. At that level, you can call them as so many in number. This possibility is in the world, like from one mud. You can make so many pots or gamla or diya, and each one of different size or weight or height. Then sabko todkar you can make one mud also. In the same way, basic point don't forget, which Lord already said. From the Maya only everything came. Maya is one. That one Maya basically expresses three gunas. Then those three gunas with mutual combinations, permutation, they will have probability, possibilities of hundreds of varieties. And at one's wisdom, he can merge all of them in one and say one is the cause. In another case, it's not ignorance, but it's a necessity. He may bring out so many things from one karana and say all of them also are karana. Like what is making a chair? There are two ways. You can say only one item is making chair, or you can say that 10 items are making chair. What is one item making chair? It's a wooden chair. The wood is making chair. Is there anything wrong? Now 10 items making chair. How? There are 4 legs, then 2 hands, then 1 back, then 1 front, and 1 more. 10 are make. That is also right. No, see, if one says, but all the 10 are from the wood only, no. But this fellow says, so what? Direct wood to bandega nahi na? Wood had to be made into these parts, then only chair is made, no. Therefore, if he says there are 10 parts making the chair, he is right in his way. अब लड़के कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा. आराम से कुर्सी पे बैठो, आर्ग्यू करके कुर्सी तोड़ो मत. दोनों को नहीं रहेगा वो. Both are right. So he says, ekasmani api drishyante pravishthani itarani cha. Itarani ekasmin pravishthani drishyante. In one vision, you can merge all the effects into cause. Then purvasmin va aparasmin va tatve tattvani sarvashaha. From many, the one can be derived, from the one, many can be brought. So therefore, basically, how many tattvas is not a healthy question to give any answer. Basically, there is no world at all. What is there? Only Paramatma. There, he only is appearing as this world with all variety. His own Maya Shakti. अब उससे नीचे मत उतरो. This number, that number, that number. Then you will end up only in arguing. Your ego becomes stronger. Your likes, dislike become stronger. This is not healthy life. This is a stupidity. This is a murkhata. That means you are not knowing how to protect your own mind, without which you can't be in one moment. You are spoiling your own house and you want to stay in that house with all the diseases. Is it the right way? You keep your house clean so that you are healthy, happy in the house. So too, it is your mind. You can't be without that. You are spoiling it with all arguments. And with that mind, you want to be happy. How can it be? The one who values the peace and protection of mind, he will never enter into the argument. He says, you are right. This way. Hmm. So here Uddhava, by asking questioning how many tattvas are making Jagat, he is as if distracting himself from the Paramatma Tattva, which is the theme of Mukti, which is the cause of Mukti, which is the theme of 11th Skandha. Bhagavan is very shrewd, intelligent. He is seeing this fellow trying to show off his intelligence, that he heard so many Mahatmas saying about so many tattvas making the world. He is unknowingly going away from the truth. Oh, when I being his God or he is my devoted disciple, I must bring him to the truth only. Therefore, तुम जो पूछ रहे हो और तो गलत है, माया में फंसने वाले पूछते हैं, तुम शब्द अमा करके भगवान को जानो, और तत्व एक हो या अनेक हो, कार्य कारण के हिसाब से दोनों करेक्ट हो सकते हैं, पर वो लक्ष्य नहीं है. Bhagavan is pulling his attention towards the Lord. Okay, now Paurva Paryamato Misham Prasankhyanamabhimsatam Yatha Viviktam Yadvaktram Grunhimo Yukti Sambhavat. देखो, अतः Amisham Paurva Paryam. Amisham ante of these people. Paurva Paryam. Pauram is Karana. Aparyam is Karya. Prasankhyanam Abhipsatam. So they have made an opinion in their mind as to talk about the Sankhya in this way. And once they decided that they want to say 9, they have their own intelligence to reduce the number by merging the effects in the cause. Okay? Yatha viviktam yad vaktram. And what they decide, what they want to say, they say. And what you and I have to do as intelligent people? Grunni Maha. And how do we take? By using their yukti and our yukti. Their yukti is what? Whatever they say. So इस तरह से हमने 9 कहा. Their yukti I accept. Yeah, you say. And what is your yukti? My yukti is there's no world at all. Only Paramatma is there. When you do Shamadama, we reach the Paramatma. Whether it's 9 or 11 or 16, how does it matter? Yukti Sambhavat. No, this is not a cheating. This is an intelligent way. What is that? In the world, you say everybody correct, correct. But in your own heart, you must know only Bhagwan is correct. And while saying correct outside, depending on your position, you have to be stern and strict. If you have no position or anything, you just withdraw there and you protect yourself with all from all the uncorrect being correct. There's a few very sublime maturities which won't come in one lifetime. They'll come after hundreds of lives. Now comes anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya vedanam swato na sambhavad anyaha tatvagno jnanado bhavet. Now very subtly, intelligently, Bhagavan is introducing the subject of how many tattvas, how they are slowly coming out to. A very cute discussion is this all that. How he is starting. See, anadi avidya yuktasya purushasya. Purusha means your jiva. The one who is got the avidya, which is anadi. अनादि काल से अविद्या में मैं हूं जीव बनकर. First understand this sentence. But his mukti will come only when he knows his essential self. He is not the jiva, it is the atma. But he is in so much influence of that avidya, he cannot have his atma vedanam by himself. Because I am in that avidya, I cannot have. I am already in avidya. How can I have the atma vidya by myself? Therefore, he says, anadi avidya yuktasya purushasya atma vedanam swataha na sambhavat. Knowing himself by himself is not possible. Obviously, it is creating the necessity of something. What is that? Anyaha tattvajnaha jnanadaha bhavet. There but is somebody else who is the knower of tattvajna and who is the giver of the jnana is required. Like the child, by the birth, he cannot write a, I, I. Therefore, he needs a teacher who knows a, I to teach. By birth, nobody knows car, scooter, driving. So, he needs a person who knows it and he teaches. Is it not? Remember, children are born without knowledge of any jnana, any language. But because in that family where he is born, that language is spoken, he catches it up. If he, though born in some South Indian family, but from childhood he is only in a Western country, he will not even know one letter of South Indian and he'll catch up all that thing. Because in that familiar, in that ground he is there, in that field. Now imagine a child born anywhere, but you throw him in jungle. There's nobody to teach him any language. He will not know any language. What I am trying to say is, by Janma, we have ignorance of our essential nature and we can't know by ourselves. So we need somebody. That somebody should have the Tattvagnya. Now, see that. Therefore, who is the other one other than me? Who is the other one other than me? He is only Ishvara. मैं जीव हूं, मैं अविद्या में हूं, तो अविद्या रूपे मुझ जीव को विद्या से देकर मुक्ति कराने वाला ईश्वर का होना ही चाहिए. Therefore, my ignorance of myself unnecessarily created the presence of Ishvara. Unnecessarily means necessarily, unnecessarily. Why necessarily? Because he alone can give me the Vidya. Why unnecessary? Now you have to surrender to him, you do upasana to him, you have to be always afraid of him, you have to pray to him, and you have to accept whatever he gives only as prasadam. अब कितना दिमाग खराब हो रहा है देखो. No, these are all not the main points. The point of argument or point of explanation is how slowly the many things are coming. Already two have come. Now Jiva, Ishvara, दोनों हो गए अभी. In the pure Parabrahma, there is no Jiva, there is no need of Ishvara. Or there is no Ishvara, there is no Jiva. But because we all are Anadi Avidya Yukta, without Atma Vidya we can't be Mukta. I can't have my own Atma Vidya. Somebody should teach me. Therefore, necessarily the Ishvara. Now, in this explanation of this shlokas, very sublime thing is there. What is that? There is Ishvara. Ishvara's only purpose is to give us mukti by giving us Atma Jnanam. Clear? That Ishvara comes as Guru. Ishvara Guru Atmeti Murti Vede Bhagne. Ishvara only comes as Guru and gives us Atma Jnana. And who is there? Who was as Jiva? Who is there? Who was expressed as Guru as well as Ishvara is Vyoma Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaya Namaha. Now, in this shloka, Bhagavan telling how the necessity of duality came. Two tattvas now, ek Ishvara, dusra Jiva. By saying so, he is already saying there is Ishvara, you believe in him, you surrender to him and ask from him only Atma Vidya. By that, you get the mukti. Here, खेल खत्म होता है. But you continue to be a Jiva and you want to identify Upadhi and you want Sukha Dukkha, then your opinion about Ishvara becomes different from he is a giver of Tattva Jnana to he is a fulfiller of my desires. The moment I become like that, then the Ishvara I will see in so many forms. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. So Saraswati will give us knowledge, Lakshmi will give wealth, Durga will remove the obstacles, Ganapati remove. अब इतने सारे तुम्हारे मन के खेल के कारण एक ईश्वर इतने बने. अनेकता आ गए कि नहीं? एक ईश्वर तत्व, एक ब्रह्म तत्व फर्स्ट बिकेम जीवा एंड ईश्वर. Then this Jiva became desirer of so many things from his side. From that side to fulfill his desires, one Ishvara became so many Devatas. I'm just telling how the manyness is just imagined or created because of our own ignorance of self and we want this or that. The whole world is created only because of our extra desires. डू यू नो इन आवर चाइल्डहुड हमारे घर में कुर्सियां नहीं होते, एक ही कुर्सी, कोई गेस्ट आते हैं तो बैठाने को. ऑलवेज टीवी देख, टीवी तो होता ही नहीं था वहां. पढ़ाई करनी हो, लड़ाई करनी हो, खाना बनानी हो, बैठ के खा रहे हो, सब नीचे बैठते थे हम. बट लेटर ऑन नो, नीचे नहीं बैठना चाहिए. देन यू वांट कुर्सी, यू वांट टेबल, यू वांट सोफा, यू वांट स्मॉल चेयर, यू वांट टू हैव अ स्विंगिंग थिंग, यू वांट. अब देखो, इज देयर एनी एंड टू दैट? नाउ यू वांट अ रिमोट कंट्रोल एवरीथिंग. अब क्या हो रहा है भैया? देयर आर सम पॉसिबिलिटीज टू मेक. इट डजंट मीन दैट इज नेसेसिटी टू मेक. संभावना की आवश्यकता नहीं कि जरूरी है. ठीक है. अनादि अविद्या युक्त स पुरुषस्य आत्मवेदम सतन संभवात अन्यः तत्वज्ञ ज्ञानदः भवेतु. Okay, now here only Bhagavan is cutting the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. What he says, पुरुष ईश्वरयोः अत्र न वैलक्षण्यम अणु अपि. In fact, Jiva Ishvara basically also are coming from one Paramatma only. Tomorrow we'll explain this more. Huh? Very subtle. We'll study this chapter also, not as detailed as earlier one, which we did 14 days, 20 days. But थोड़ा हम इसको भी कोशिश करेंगे भगवान क्या अपने हृदय में रख कर ये श्लोक ये चैप्टर हमको बता रहे. He says, Purusha Ishvarayoho atra na vailakshanyam. There are no vilakshanata in them. Anu api, even little also. At the most, there may be a quantitative difference only, but qualitatively, both are same. Tad anya kalpana apartha. You know, the anyatva kalpana in the Jiva and Ishvara is the leading, one leads to the apartha only. It will only lead to the luksan only, not artha. Apartha ko lead karega. No, but jnanam, but by jnanam, you know, the Ishvara has more jnana, Jiva has less jnana. Arababa, that prakritehe gunaha. The jnana which you are talking for the Ishvara and for it is only the Mayaksi karana. That prakriti ka teen guna mein sattva guna. Shuddha sattva guna Ishvara has. Therefore he has got sarvajnata. Jiva has got sattva guna mixed with rajas and tamas. Therefore he has got less jnana. If Ishvara knows his Atma, that jnanam if he has got. If Jiva knows his Atma, that jnanam he has got. That jnanam is one only there. Therefore, even Ishvara Jiva, Veda also is not actually correct. It is a kalpana. But that kalpana leads to apartha if you don't properly use it. What a proper using? Already said. The purpose of Ishvara and Ishvara Upasana in our life is only to know our essential self. Having known the self, I am no more Jiva, I don't need Ishvara, then both Jiva Ishvara dissolved in Parabrahma. So, cut ho jata immediately, the subsequent manifestation of samsara is not there at all. This is a true education. And any Ishwaratva Pratipadana done by any Guru or any Shastra for an initial intent in spirituality, saying that he is a giver of Naraka to you if you do the Papa, he is a giver of Swarga to you if you do the Punya. All these initial initiations given by a matured person to a just now entering person should lead to this level. Vaya Ishvara's purpose only is to give you Atma Jnana. He comes as Guru. So take Guru as Ishvara. Therefore, take Guru's instruction as Ishwaragnya and follow them. When you follow them, you will know the Tattva of the Guru and Ishvara and yourself. That is Brahma Tattva. This is a correct way of lifting a person from lowest to the highest level. And don't put a person only at that level where he accepts the presence of Ishvara as Upasya Daiva to fulfill my desires, to protect me from all troubles. This is a very low level. It is the initial level. At that time, it's wonderful. But it is not all the time should be maintained. Unknowingly, people maintain that only throughout the life. Like in any relation, helping each other and also sorting out each other's problem is not the final thing. It is initial. Later on, any two relation to together sit and discuss about the ultimate only. Then only the fulfillment is there for that relation. That's how you can see the Parvati ji always asking Shiva about Tattva. Shiva always tells the Parvati ji Jnanam. They are wife and husband, but not for eternity. At one level, both of them become seekers and know the truth. You can continue as a very ideal husband. That's so good, better than all fighting couples. But it is not ultimate also. Ultimate is every relation should lead to absolute. But who will tell this? Who has got the guts to say this? And who will practice this also? Lot of things that way can be discussed in our Shastra. Now tomorrow we will see the Prakriti Guna Samyam and all that 3 gunas, how they influences and all. Excellent topic will come. And how Sapta, how Nava, how Ekadash, how 13, how the 13 Tattvas are talked. All that Bhagavan will explain. We will see tomorrow those details. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you for your patient listening. Sometimes such type of discussion also helps us in expanding our intellects or eyes enough, understanding the details or the depths.